I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here? By Elvira Standili. Just bear with me on radio as I intro the show on the live screen. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening if you've just joined us. I know that there's a live portion that's just starting. So, I want to welcome these of you that are joining us from this side. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're catching the replay, I'd also like you to drop me a comment and let me know. Just you can use the hashtag replay and if you're watching live, I want to say welcome and please drop us a comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We'd like to make your comment part of our show and acknowledge you. If we haven't met yet, my name is Inga van Roy, and I am recognized as a community connection catalyst. What does that mean? Well, I help entrepreneurs to build community so that they can make more friends and money. So if you would like some information or you'd like to work with me, please reach out, send me a message. You can reach me on LinkedIn, of course. So just send me a DM and let's get talking. I am the host of Wonder Women Wednesday, where I get to highlight ordinary women making an extraordinary difference. And I hope you take note of the inverted commas that I use because I believe that we all think that we are ordinary, but we're not. Whether you are impacting a community of one or two, or even a larger one of 100 or 1,000 people, you are not ordinary and you make a difference. I want to acknowledge you and I want to say thank you. And I want to tell you that we are celebrating you this month because it is International Women's Month. You might be wondering, you didn't know about that, did you? Well, International Women's Day is on the 8th of March every year. And I extend it to the full month and I celebrate from the 1st to the 31st because why not? I feel that we deserve that, don't we? I see Ileana clapping in the background because we deserve it. Why can't we? And I have a friend, she is a mother to two boys and a wife. And so she's the only woman in her home. And she says she celebrates Women's Day every day because she's alone. But anyway, jokes aside, welcome. Thank you for being here with us. Today, I get to speak to a few of my friends, and we'll be talking about what empowerment means to them and sharing a little bit of their experiences regarding how they've been empowered or how they have empowered others. So stick around. I hope you'll enjoy the conversation and also come and be part of it by dropping us a comment and letting us know what your thoughts are on the topic. Without further ado, I'd like to bring on the first of my guests, and let's say hello to the amazing Veronica Jeans, the Shopify Queen. Hi, hi, hi. How are
Hi,
you?
absolutely fabulous.
Awesome. I love that. Um, Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Won't you please introduce yourself? Let everyone know who you are and what you do.
Well, first, I live on a boat. as you can see. So, I have to apologize for the noise in the background because that's my air conditioner. It's a very old boat. But I am Veronica Jeans. I'm an e commerce expert, business consultant, and I'm also an author. And I've published several books about Shopify and e-commerce on how to get your business online. And that's what I coach as well. That's what I teach people is how to get your passion online and start making money.
I love that. Tell us how many is several? How many books have
Oh,
you published?
okay, so right now I think I've got seven up, but I had to rewrite three of them because things change so much online these
Hmm.
days that I couldn't even update them. I had to literally unpublish, which is a major thing, right? To check that button, go, okay, off. And I had to republish all my books.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it is that. I mean, that's why I have a job, because things change so much and they and also not even just on e-commerce, just the possibilities are so much more online these days with Google changing and Facebook changes, and you can't keep up anymore.
No, it's difficult to keep up, and
Mm,
that's why we need you to help us.
exactly, exactly, yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Veronica, for being here with us. Can you let us know where you are joining
Oh,
us from?
yes, so I'm near Houston, Texas, and I'm literally in the marina and living on a motor cruiser, not a houseboat. And
A
we can
motor
actually
cruiser.
literally cruise across the ocean. And
Yes.
so, yeah, so it's sort of, I'm close to the bay, so we can get out into the bay and also into the near the Gulf Coast.
And for those that are listening, they're probably wondering, yeah, I guess you live you live close to Houston, but where are you originally from?
Oh yes, so Ingo and I on used to be neighbors, and I'm from Namibia, Africa, which is just above South Africa. And in fact, when I was up until I think 1987, no, maybe longer, 90, 97 maybe, Namibia became independent. I don't know.
Mhm.
I can't even remember when they became independent. But it was such a long time. So I carried a South African passport because Namibia was
Interesting.
administered by South Africa. So we were sort of like the cousin, the cousin nobody talks about. But we all sound the same, right? We all sound the same.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for being here. Nice to have you. And I'll let you finish swallowing, Aliana. I just saw her take a sip of her drink. So I'm giving her grace to finish and then I'll add her. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me like always.
It's a pleasure. Tell us, who is Aliana?
All right. Well, first of all, I love the way you celebrated the whole month. Daisy, my partner in crime, is coming up as well. And I said, "What? A whole month of celebration? Why did we do that?" Right? I love
Yeah.
it. And International Women should be celebrated every day. There's so many of us out there. Like we can, like even if we hosted one every 365 days of the year, we would have our calendars booked forever, right? So
Yes.
so
Yes, you're right.
I'm Aliana Sutton. I'm the CEO founder of AHA Workforce Education Solution. Really, it is my umbrella to open up highly professional career paths through my innovations through apprenticeship programs as well. So that's what I do. I have a niche for opening career doors. And of course, that brings mentoring, crybaby moments, happy moments, sad moments, down moments, everything in between. I've been an
Mm,
entrepreneur and owned my own business for about 10 years now, and I've been in the business world for about 27 of those years. So
wow. Wow. I'm celebrating you. That you've been in business for 10 years. I know that you celebrated last week, and it was amazing to be able to just be a little part of that. So, congratulations to you, Aliana. Keep doing what you're doing. And, I have to tell you, you said crybaby moments. And it took me back to my days as a lecturer. And I remember, yes, I lectured my students, but I also mentored them. And they spoke to me about various aspects of their lives, not just pertaining to what I was teaching them. But isn't it a beautiful thing to see how I love the name of your business,
Aha.
Aha, right? Because that is the most beautiful thing to me when I'm teaching somebody and I see that aha
aha
moment
moment, right?
Yeah.
and they just get
Get it.
it.
I know,
It's
and then
amazing.
on the other side of that is when someone, like you said, after all the questions, the Q&As, all the hugs, when that one person stands and waits for you and just opens up that information that you never would have thought someone that you never knew would have been empowered to share. Like for me, that is the reason I do what I do, is to let people
Mhm.
let it go, and it's powerful, right? I tell everyone I'm a
Yes,
poor philanthropist, and I'll stay that way as long as I can continue to get my aha moment. I'm not giving up, right?
yes, I love that. Well, thank you for being here. I want to add one more to our panel. So, welcome, Miss Daisy.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I am great. As always, having technical difficulties, so I had to join in through my phone because I wanted to make sure that I was here for this.
It's all good. Well, thank you for being here. Won't you please tell us who is Daisy Solar and what do you do?
Daisy Solar is the owner of Daisy's Interpretation Services. I am your Spanish interpreter, as I show up on LinkedIn so very often. I help people communicate, right? I help those have a voice that don't have a voice. I help them
Mm,
feel comfortable in their settings and help bridge the gap that separates them from the rest of the world.
beautiful. Um, oh, I know your story. I know how you got into it. So I'm just excited. I just want to be able to hear the story. But thank you for being here, Daisy, and thank you for giving a voice to those who don't have one. It's so important that we are heard and seen, and you help others
Absolutely.
with that. So thank you. Let's dive into the conversation. We're talking about empowerment, and since you're on screen, I might as well ask you, what is empowerment to you, Daisy?
Empowerment to me is
Oh, and Daisy is frozen.
the practice. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Go for it.
Empowerment to me is the power of taking the initiative to empower somebody else, to motivate other people, right? To give them the tools and help them get the strength and let them see that within themselves they have that strength that they need to do what it is that they want to do. That's to empower others, to let them see, you know, what's inside of them that they already have that they're not seeing themselves, and just help them see that, help them come face to face with who they really are, and help them, get the strength from where they don't have any, right? To go
Mm,
forward into whatever it is that they want to do, no matter what fear they have, no matter what obstacles they have, right?
mm.
They have the power. We have the power to be able to accomplish anything that we set our minds to. And so I am blessed to be able, to help motivate others to be able to see that.
That's amazing. Awesome. Thank you. What about you, Aliana? What's your version of the definition of this word?
All right, so you did kind of give me a pre-glimpse of what the question was, and my mind just went everywhere because I am in
Mm,
the business of empowerment, giving it and receiving it. So I did what I do best, which is a little research to find out that definition that kind of says a little bit of what how I feel about empowerment. So I
mm,
found, of course, from our Oxford Dictionary, the definition of the process of becoming stronger and more confident, especially in controlling one's life and claiming one's
mhm,
rights. Step for the empowerment of women.
mm,
So
mm,
when I read that, I thought that's all me. That's what it life, my journey, let's just say my journey is really about. I share what it is that I go through. I tell everyone you probably won't find anyone more authentic in the world than me. I know there's others out there like me, but I share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And in hopes that someone is listening and maybe just a tidbit empowers them somewhere in their journey. And
mhm.
I'm a woman. Like I've worked in a corporate setting where all the men around that table were all older men, been in the business, country raised. I'm the only one the color of my skin. I did that for a long, long time. So I have a
Wow.
pretty tough skin. So if I don't give other women, you know,
Mm,
an opportunity, then I'm really not living my best life.
mm, mm. Say that last part again, please.
That I'm not living my best life.
If you're not giving other women an opportunity, you're not living your best life.
Yes. And I've learned that in the business world, it's hard to say, I'm just providing services for women or people that are
Mhm,
considered, poverty level. I've been able now to kind of create a pathway for anyone. I've never been the one that ever since I can remember to pull out my diversity card or my language abilities. Really, not even my skills. I tell everyone, you're blessed if you have one of those grand titles, president, governor, director, CEOs, educators, schools, whatever your title is, that means that you've earned it. But I've learned in my journey that you don't never judge someone by their book, and that's even
mhm,
titles. So I think that unique in that way that when I say empowerment, regardless of who you're speaking with or I'm speaking with or however, I am listening and I'm going to put just a little trinkle of my empowerment in that conversation.
I
And
love it.
so that's allowed me to kind of, stay neutral to everyone, but remember that I am a woman and there's a lot of us out there that
Mhm,
need that support.
I love it. Um, by the way, you said, you show up authentically. Can you, for the people that cannot see you, can you describe the t-shirt you're wearing?
So it is a Looney Tune regular t-shirt. I'm plain. I thought about putting on my suit jacket, which normally if I were to go out, I'd be wearing my suit jacket, a printed Looney Tune that has all the Looney Tunes in a van kind of going zonkers. Um a zonks as well. That's the kind of person I am. I wore the high stilettos. I wore the crispy suits, right? If I need to, I can do it. But my journey right now has empowered me to really tune into myself. It's
Mm,
simple. Either
mhm.
you like it or you don't. And if you don't, I would hope that you're at a level of professionalism as I am, that when we see each other or someone talks about a service, that you remember that person, not just avoid them and be hee hee in someone's face and then turn the other way. So
Yeah,
empowerment leads my journey as well. But I'm all
love it.
into the Looney Tunes, raised in the
Yes.
70s as well, in front of the old school TV as
Mhm.
well. Watched a lot of cartoons on Saturday mornings
Oh my
as
gosh.
well. So I carry that even in my post on LinkedIn. I'm a big Snoopy fan, and I've found great Snoopy motivational posts that I just piggyback on. Who doesn't love Snoopy, right? Um,
Right? Oh my goodness. I just wanted you to describe your t-shirt, and I have to say I disagree with you because you said you're plain. You're not plain. This is not plain, but it's fun. So thank you for being here and thank you for sharing your version of what empowerment is. Um, Veronica, won't you share with us what do you feel empowerment is? Please unmute yourself.
Unmute. So
Yes.
yeah, so empowerment for me is, I've been an entrepreneur most of my life. Since my early 20s, when I had my first baby, I got home, packed him on my back, put the blanket around like my OC used to do, and drew. I did my drawings, right? So I always worked from home in various different countries and been in various different career fields in my life as well, and especially just with men. So it's construction. It's
mm,
Wow.
in an office with 100 other men. I was like the only woman,
Yeah.
and in Holland, I was yeah. You'd think moving to Holland from backwards Africa is, oh my lord, these women, everybody's so open, and it's going to be fabulous. The first interview I had, and I was going to get a job, didn't work out. But the guy said to me, "Just remember, you're a draftsman, not a tracer." And what it meant was, if you were a tracer, you would just trace the drawings out. But if you're a
Yeah.
draftsman, you could actually design. And I just looked at him and I went, "What? Didn't you read my resume?" But that was also, sitting in an office with my partner, and the guy in IBM, by the way, would not talk to me. He would
Wow.
speak to my partner, who could not understand Dutch, by the way. And so that
Wow.
was what I grew up with, where in any industry I was in, there was always that. I'm a Microsoft certified systems engineer in my past, one of my side jobs. And if I'd walked into an office to fix a computer, the women would look at me and go, well, I do have a lot of freckles normally. They go, "You gonna fix our computer?" It's like Bronwyn freckles, you don't have a brain. But this is what you have to, you have to put up with, right? This is what you have to overcome. And I
Yes.
always really loved working with women, and also because I've always been in a male-dominated industries, right? To bring them forward and help them to achieve things that they never thought they could. Don't tell me you can't be on a computer. I will show you what to do on a computer, right? Anything is possible if you set your mind to it. And
Yeah.
really, history, and unfortunately, because as you know, South Africa we were banned, we couldn't go anywhere. We're like 20 years behind everybody else. So also coming to America and realizing how fortunately women in Northern America really are compared to where we come from. Because I used to get a
Yeah.
slap on my head going, "Oh, it's just a hobby. I don't need to pay you a lot of
Wow.
money." Yes, exactly, right. And so
Wow.
um, you know for me, the joy is helping women actually create their own path where they can
Mm.
have their own businesses and manage to do stuff, amazing things, right?
Yeah. Empowerment is so important.
I know,
So important.
and don't, I mean, we are our worst enemies, and I bet you girls have also had that, you know, the women thing as well. Not even just from men, it's the women that put you down or look down on you just because they think you can't do anything. Hello, the blonde and the ditz. So I can relate to really,
Oh
really,
my gosh.
where you can't get a job because you are competition, right? And
Yeah.
so that's it. If they can do it, we can do it too. That's my
Yes.
attitude.
Absolutely.
Exactly, right?
Oh
Exactly.
my
I mean, we are
gosh.
living in such an amazing times where
Mm.
we can become our own um, um, owners of our own businesses, and actually find jobs and work with people. I mean, it is absolutely fabulous. If I think about, I'm my mom's getting really old. She's 87 right now. She's actually just closed her business. She was a
Jeez.
tax consultant for small businesses in Namibia. Had 10 businesses that she looked after. Yeah, the IRS was very wary of Mrs. Lehman. They would go, "Oh my God, here she comes again. I wonder what she wants." But she retired from the bank at 60 and created another career for herself. So it doesn't just stop just because you're getting old. But what I want to say is as well is that she, when she worked in the bank, she couldn't become a bank manager because she's a woman, right? She can
Mm.
become the PA to the bank manager. And even though she did his job, she couldn't advance. My grandmother, um, she amazing. She was absolutely amazing, my granny, but she could not own a business because she was a woman. So her brother had to own the business that she ran and grew. So
Wow.
and I mean, people tend to forget. When I started my business in South Africa, I had to have my husband sign for a bank account and my telephone. The post office would not, because I was married to him. You're a second-hand citizen. What do you
Yeah.
have? You don't have brains. So
Wow.
yeah,
And now,
now we
now
can do
women can do
anything, right?
anything.
Anything,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say that, since I realized that, the generation of today don't really understand what empowerment is, because they haven't faced the same struggles and what we did, really.
That's
Um,
true.
so it's, to a certain extent, you can kind of think that they probably don't really know, right? Um, that's our reality. And but I'm glad that they don't know. I'm glad that they haven't had these struggles, because that's what we fought for, isn't it? That's what we've been pushing for as our generation and generations before us. Um, so
And here's another thought as well. So I look at my sons being married and having babies, right? So my poor husband, who's been my strength behind me. That's why I could play as a business owner, because he would earn the money and I could just go out and do my thing. But 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 our relationship, or our parents' relationship, was different to young people. I call them young, right? So I'm aging myself here,
mm,
but people that are married now with kids, whereas the husband are so much more involved in, they doing the dishes, they are helping and integrally involved in the home life, where
mm,
a few years ago it wasn't like that. And my poor husband got married to me, And then I told him what to do, and he was like, well, this is not supposed to be the way we do things in a marriage. And that's why, that's why people are, when they get married these days, or they are younger, that they have definitely a better relationship within the family and their marriage. And here's another thing, that you can
Mm,
talk to a marriage counselor. I never did. I just thought, you've got to get through this yourself. So all this fabulous stuff that actually help us in our lives. It is
mm,
really, really, really good. And you don't really think about it, because we didn't do it. But
mhm.
you don't even think even a second thought of, what, I have a problem. Maybe I should go and talk to somebody,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You just buckle up and you do it, right? Um, let's go to the comments quickly. I want to say, by the way, I think if anybody has moved over to another platform, I think there's an issue on LinkedIn. So I have made a comment on LinkedIn letting people know that they can come over to YouTube or Twitter instead. So I have a message from Diane, another lady who is a Wonder Woman, and she says, "Happy Wednesday, Happy Wonder Women Wednesday." And Aliana, you are amazing. You commented on YouTube saying, "Here we go." Um, Diane also says we can be the owners of our own businesses. We have come a long way from our grandmother's world. Yes, a very long way. Um, one thing that Diane often says, and I've heard her say it, and she says it to me as well, you are the main character of your own movie. You are the main character of your own movie. Um, so let's act like it, right? She also said women need to protect the progress that has been made over the past generations. I love that. Thank you. One more thing she says, we need to continue to empower and improve the world for future generations. Yes, absolutely love it. Thank you, Diane. Um, Aliana, I would love to ask you, do you have any empowerment story that you would like to share with us?
Of course, of course. Once again, I knew this question was coming. I was pulling, but I'm going to stay authentic to real time. So, of course, everyone knows that I worked really hard. I work hard all the time in putting events together. But this one, for my 10th year, I decided to host it in my own backyard in Northwest Arkansas. And I'm a big promoter of public libraries. They go way back when I was a young mom and I needed free entertainment for my children, two boys at the time. We would go to the public library and do their arts and crafts, check out books. So I always make sure to pay forward with the public libraries. So we, hosted it at the public library, and it's a pretty upscale kind of library. And they have a food court there. And me and my daughter went to go put eyes on our venue because I'm local and I had that privilege because usually I'm hosting in Texas, Ohio, Mississippi, have no idea what the venue looks like, always with my fingers crossed, holding my breath. But we kind of had a little bit more flexibility here. So long story short, me and my daughter decided to eat at the cafe because they have really good food there for cheap, like a bowl of beans and cornbread for like 2.25, something like that. I'm simple when it comes to even my eating. And so after that, we met with the hostess there from the library who showed us our event. And then on our way back, because I knew it was going to be a long day, being a woman and a wife that multitask all the time, I knew that that evening was going to be tight. So I told my daughter, hey, why don't we stop and get dad a bowl of beans and cornbread, which he's a big bean lover. Shouldn't be eating them, but he loves them anyway as well. And so at that moment, me and her and another young lady was in front of us who, at that moment, she was ordering her food. And of course, me not being a nosy Peabody, me and my daughter started conversating about, the event space, things like that. But at the same time, when you're standing in line for a little bit, you automatically get curious. And so I started to kind of look and pay a little bit attention of what the conversation was. And by this point, this young lady had a whole bunch of change just laid out in the counter. I assumed that she was trying to find that lucky quarter or that nickel in order to make the exact change, because once again, I am not a nosy Peabody. But the more I started to not conversate with my daughter and really listen to what was going on, I assumed once again that she was paying for her food. But what it was is that she was gathering all her change to see what she could order on her menu. But by this point, the line went from her being in front of me to me and my daughter and about three other employees that work in the library, right? Who come and purchase their food there instead of packing their lunch. Because if I worked there, I would be a foodie and contribute to the library's financial revenue as well. So back to the story. So the more I started listening to the conversation, the gentleman was just literally sitting there. You can see he was getting kind of a little bit annoyed because the line,
Mm,
of course, was backing up. It was midtime, lunchtime. And I literally, I felt it in my soul. I felt it in my throat. Um, that I just needed to speak up. And a little voice in my head said, Aliana, you do realize this young lady hasn't ordered your food and she's hungry. So I went ahead and I stepped up to the plate and I told the cashier guy, hey, whatever she wants to order, I'll tell you what we're going to, this is what I told him. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Instead of us sitting here waiting for her to bust out her magical change, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let her order anything she wants to on top of this is what I want. And whenever she gets done, then I'll go ahead and pay for it. And he looked at me like I was speaking Martian, like wah 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 wah, like Snoopy, like wah 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 wah. And, and in my head, I had to repeat it again. Like, the little voice in me said, you're going to have to repeat it and own what you're saying. And
mm,
so I clearly stated again. And this young lady looked at me and she said, are you kidding? I said, no, I'm not. And so she was kind of stuck in the moment like I was. And you can imagine everyone in the line listening at this point, watching what was happening. She had no
mhm.
idea what to order. And then when I looked and she said, thank you so much. And I put in my order, I noticed that she had a basket and I didn't even pay attention. This young lady was rolling all of her belongings in one of the
Oh,
smallest carts that she had. And so she looked at me and she said, thank you so much. Is there anything that I need to repay you? And I had to think about what my response was going to be other than to tell her, I need you to keep pushing forward. I need you to believe whatever it is that's happening, believe that you're going to get over it. And I hugged her. And it seemed like she hadn't received a hug because when you're homeless, you don't look the hottest, you don't smell the best. But at that point, my senses of smell, anything was just put to the side. And then I went a little bit further and she said, thank you because this is probably going to be one of the only meals. If I can get into the homeless shelter on time, I might have dinner. I said, go ahead and order what you're going to take for dinner. She ordered her a roll, not even a whole sandwich, you guys, a plain freaking French roll. Why? Because if she didn't make it into the homeless shelter, she could wrap it up and the length of the time that she could eat off of this French bread beats her not having anything in her stomach. So
wow,
for
wow.
me, that is my empowerment that happens to me at the least time that you expect it as well. And so, even though that might have not impacted my business internally right there, is impact me. And as I
Mhm,
shared, I bring all of my journeys and feelings into my journey as you hear me talk, as I educate, as I train, as I meet people because when you think that you're down to your lowest point, you have to always remember there's always someone out there that just needs a little bit of sunshine, right?
mhm.
Just a little bit of sunshine their way to make a difference. as
Wow.
well. So that is my empowerment story that I wanted to share with you. That has been one of the latest that has empowered me personally as a woman, and then everything else that I do.
Wow. Whew. I had to fight back the tears when you were telling that story, Aliana. And thank you for what you did. I know that you didn't do it
No.
for me or for thanks, um, but just out of necessity because you saw that there was a need. So thank you. Wow. Let's move on to you, Miss Solar. Share with us a story of empowerment from your life, please.
Well, I was trying to sit here and think, God, I don't really have any stories of empowerment, right? What can I possibly think about of a story of empowerment? And, on top of the fact that I have two daughters, right? Women who have children of their own, I have had to empower them to be strong mothers, right? I, have had to empower them to believe in themselves and believe that they can do what they think that they cannot,
Mm,
right? In
mm,
the same manner that my mom empowered me and my sisters when we were young. I have been able to bring that through, right? Because that's what has actually, helped me because she empowered me. Now I'm able to empower them and so many other youth that I come across or other women that I come across, right? I don't think that a person can empower too much
mm,
if you haven't empowered yourself as well. And, you know, with what I've been through in life and places that I didn't think I was gonna come out from, my mom gave me that empowerment by being there with me, by holding my hand and not letting go, right?
mm,
Making me that strong woman, that persistent woman that I am now. Um, it's just incredible the things that we can overcome when we really set our minds to. We are so much stronger than we think. We are made to overcome so many obstacles, so many hard things that we go through in life, right? One of them, for myself, is that just being here alone is such a great, it's a result of being empowered, right, by my mom, of so many back surgeries that I had. And, I was almost in a wheelchair. To be here today, to be able to help others is just miraculous in itself for me, right? Um, to be at a point where I was, where when I started as an entrepreneur, I was told that they didn't think that I was going to be able to do this,
mm.
right? And I had to empower myself to believe that yes, you
Mhm.
can, Daisy. You can do this.
Yes.
Don't let your disability or anybody's thought of your disability hold you back from what you know that you were made for, right? And
Mm,
and this comes from the strong woman that my mom is and has been, and she instilled that in me. And now I am able to instill that in my daughters.
mm,
It's like we were saying earlier, right? That this generation, I don't think, has that idea of what it really is, right? To be empowered or to empower others. I find
yeah.
myself having to remind my daughters of who they are,
Mm,
of who they are called to be, because
yes.
I hear a lot. I can't, mom, I can't do this. Mom, I can't do this.
Mm,
Yes, you can. Yes, you can do this.
yeah.
You have a got to believe because a lot of times you see them on Facebook, talking all this, oh, I'm doing this, I'm conquering the world, right? But when it comes down to the issues that they face in life, the hard issues, the real hard issues, they want to break apart. They want to fall apart, right? And we have to lift them up and set them straight again. And no, stand straight, hold your ground because you were made for this. God made us women to be able to multitask in such a way that it is incredible. God
Mhm.
gave the women so much power. We can do so much, so much,
Yeah.
and we just don't even realize the potential that He has given us in our hands, the potential that
Mhm.
we have in our hands until we actually try, until we get out of that comfort zone, right? Until
Mhm.
we dare to defy ourselves into
Yeah.
pushing, ourselves further. I tell my daughters, don't let that fear that you have because they're like, Mom, I'm scared. Mom, I don't know if I can do this. Mom, oh my God, stop being so afraid.
Yeah.
Or if you use that fear that you have,
Mhm.
use it. Don't let it
Mhm.
cripple you. Don't let it paralyze you. But use that fear to
To
push
propel you.
you
Yeah.
into where you need to be, to push
Yes.
you into where you are going. Use that fear for that,
Yes.
and you will
And
overcome whatever comes your way.
yes. And you can say that to them because why? Because you've done it.
Absolutely. I've had to. When
Yeah.
we're pushed against the wall, right? That's where we see the strength come out.
Mhm.
When someone pushes you against the wall and says, "No, you can't,"
Oh yeah.
that's when you
Watch
see
me.
that strength come out, right? That
Yes.
strength out of where? Out of where? The strength that was already deposited in you. That
Yes.
strength that has been there the whole time, that's been
Yes.
dormant. That
Yes.
strength.
Yes. I
When you're
love it.
pushed against the wall, we see who we really are and who we can be.
Wow. Yes. Um, so part of your origin story is because Daisy, you are your business is about interpreting. Um, so before you even knew that this was a career path, you
Mhm.
used to do this. So can you tell us a little bit about how you empowered in that way, please?
Yes, I always went with my mom to all her appointments, to everywhere that she had to go. I had to be there with her. Me and my sisters, right? Either one or two or all of us, because my mom always had her with us. She only spoke Spanish. When we came to New York, my mom only spoke Spanish, and so did we.
Mm-hmm.
But except she had when she enrolled us in school, we had to make it work. We had to learn English, right? And but since a child is easier for a child to learn than it is for an adult, so it was
Yes.
easier for us to pick up the Spanish, I mean the English, to then come home and be able to help our mother. And through our life, that's what we did. That's how we grew up. So I thought that this was
Normal.
our culture. This was normal. This is what everybody was supposed to do, was
Yeah.
help their parent, right? Be understood, give a voice to your mom, and because she's your mom, you're making sure, at least we did, right, that she was understood. We're making sure that her issues was being met. We're making sure that she's being heard.
Yeah.
And, so this was normal to me until, you know, 2015, 2016, around there, when I came across it, and then I came to see that this was actually a profession. It blew my mind. I was like, what? People actually get paid to do this?
My mom should have been paying me. But
Yes,
what
let's
you were
monetize
doing,
this a little bit, right?
yes. But you know what you were doing, Daisy? You were empowering your mom to be heard, to be seen,
Wow,
right?
yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And we don't see it that way. Well, I don't see it that way, right? Because she's my mom, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, to me, it's just natural to help my mom. It's
Yes.
it's not. I don't see it as empowerment. I see it as just
Yeah.
being a daughter to that person that raised me, to that person that made me who I am today, right? With the help of the Lord, of course. But
Wow.
you
Beautiful.
know, I I all I want to do is help my mom. Sometimes I feel like a little kid, right? Because even at my age, at 54, I still want to make my mom proud, right? I want my mom to be able to see who I have become because of her.
Yeah.
So this is why I push myself. I persist. I must, right, come to be who I'm supposed to be so that she can see
Yeah.
what she helped to do.
Yeah.
And even in my daughters, she's a product of, they're a product of all that too. And it started with her.
Yeah.
And
Beautiful.
and I just want her to see all that because it is so important for us now, right? And in sharing memories now that, and we take advantage so much of life. We don't
Yeah.
realize how short life can be sometimes. We take advantage.
Yeah.
We think we have all the time in the world,
Yeah.
but
We take it for
we do not.
granted.
And then until we're faced with a situation and we
Mhm.
start treasuring every moment, every minute.
Yeah.
And so, that's where I'm at and I'm enjoying it. I'm, you know, helping my mom as best as we could. Now, empowering her now in a different way,
Mm.
empowering her right to believe that she still can because she
Yeah.
feels that she can.
Yeah.
My mom has Alzheimer's, and so she feels like life is being taken away from her, right? And so now we're empowering her, like you said, to mom, you can do this, mom. You're
Mm.
able. You
Mm.
are still able.
Yes.
Keep pushing
Beautiful.
yourself, right? Just because certain things are taken from us, when certain things are taken from us, other things are given to us, right?
Yeah.
And she has that grace about her. She has that, thing that she has given to us and that empowerment that she has given us. And now we can give to the rest of the world, including our kids. So it's just amazing the things that
Beautiful.
we can do when we set our mind to.
Wow. Thank you. Um, Aliana highlighted something. She says, "Did you guys hear Daisy?" Wow. Yes, Daisy. We heard you. We heard you. That was beautiful. Thank you. Veronica, come share your story with us, please.
Empowerment, I agree with Daisy as well. My granny was such an example for me. She did everything. She would do the rose. She would do the flowers for a wedding. She would do the wedding dress. She sewed all my clothes. She ran the store. She made hats. She baked. I mean, she won baking competitions. Okay, it's a small town, but still, So she was such a good example to me when I was growing up that I literally have kept that tradition up. So I can make hats, I can bake, I can make you bouquets for your wedding, by the way. I
Oh
don't
my
do it
gosh.
professionally, but I can. But
Wow.
just, and so, right? But it's just that things that you realize that anything you can do, right? She did it. And so my mom, as I said, she retired from the bank. She had two restaurants, by the way. Then they retired that because it was too much work, and then she became a tax consultant. But she was
She
pretty
was.
nosy, though. She wanted to know what everybody's earning. But and then so and I feel that I am an example to my granddaughters and my grandsons, by
Yes.
the way, and my grandsons. And I've been, even with my sons when they were growing up, showing them you can do things differently. I
Hmm.
remember while you guys were talking is I used to go to events. I was part of the WeBank and the WBA here in Houston, and then I'd schlep them to the big events, and I'd say, okay, you have to come and help me in the booth. Oh, mom, I don't want to talk to people. So my son that complained the most, guess what he is? He's a financial advisor. Selling stuff, right? Selling stuff. But you can be an example to all your kids, right? And
Hmm.
how confident, and even my daughters-in-law, because I'm working with my one daughter-in-law, It's being there for her as well, and encouraging her and going, you can do this, finish your
Yes.
degree. And because it's a pride thing, if you finish something and you complete something, but just do it. And there's lots of times, as we know, with entrepreneurs, it goes up and it goes down, and it goes up and it
Yes.
goes down. You go, oh Lordy, what's going to happen this month? But just, and the same thing with my business clients that have their own businesses, whether it's making their own soap or making personalized puzzles, or this one lady, her husband welds, and she sells all the beautiful supports and everything. But this, and the one little lady is an esthetician, so she sells her stuff online. She makes her own stuff, but it is really, really hard. And being that
Yes.
rah rah person in there, going, "Don't give up now. You got to hang in there." I think that's where we are empowering other people that surround us and help them
Beautiful.
to become more than what they are, right? And just
Mm.
hang in there, because nothing is easy. If it was
No.
easy, everybody would be doing it, right? Oh no, no.
Yes.
If it was easy, everybody would be doing it and be successful, right?
Yes.
Right?
Oh my goodness. Yes. Absolutely. Um, we are approaching the top of the hour that I have with you. So I want to ask you, please, Veronica, won't you please share your final thoughts and where people can find you? And then I'll rotate through the three of you. Go for it.
Okay, so my final thought is, and this is a saying, that every day you write a new chapter for your life and your business,
Mm,
right? Because your business is part of your life. It's everything is intertwined, and so yeah, there's always nog 'n dag. There's always another day.
yes.
Start
Oh my
again.
gosh.
Get up and get on back on that donkey.
Yes. I love it. And
And
where can people find you?
veronicajeans.com. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I am the Shopify Queen. I am going to rebrand, by the way, but right now I'm still the Shopify Queen. But they can find me anyway. Yeah, I love helping
Awesome.
people.
Awesome. Thank you, Veronica. I appreciate your time and just your essence coming to share that with us. So thank you. Let's go to you, Daisy. Daisy, what are your final thoughts and where can people find you?
People can find me on my website, daisy'sinterpretationservices.com. They can also find me on LinkedIn as Daisy's Interpretation Services or Daisy Solar. Wherever you type Daisy Solar, you will find me.
And
You
spell
can
solar.
also Soler, not the solar
Thank you.
system, right? Because I
Yes.
was always bothered about that in school. They always call me solar system, right? But
Oh my
it's not
goodness.
Solar, it's Soler. So my final thought, right, is that let's inspire, right? Let's focus on inspiring one another. Let's focus on uplifting one another. Let's focus
Mm,
on helping the next person make it, right? The next person, what is it that you need? Let's just ask if we see them stuck in a place. Let's not just be too shy to ask or too proud to help, right?
mhm,
Let's
mhm.
empower one another
Yes.
to reach new
Yes.
heights and to be the best that we can possibly be, right? To create a future where everyone, where every individual has the opportunity to thrive in whatever it is that they do and be the best that they can be, right? And I
Beautiful.
wanted to read a quote, right? It's in Isaiah 40:31, and I want to read it because I want to say it exactly how it is. And I just want to leave you with this. It says, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength.
Mm,
They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint."
mm.
And I wanted to leave you guys with that. That is in Isaiah 40:31. So believe that you can do whatever it is that you
Amen.
think you can.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. What about you, Miss Ileana.
Wow, you have me going behind Daisy like that? What? Well, I'm just going to keep it as simple as I can be. I always use the word simple as well. But, I think being a Wonder Woman, I think we're all Wonder Womans, no matter,
Yes,
like Miss Veronica mentioned, that we have women out there that don't remember they're women and forget to open those doors. I always say those women have not received empowerment throughout their journey and are might be a little fearful of not who we are, but that feeling we give them when we walk into the room,
mm,
right? And so the more that we can share our journey with others transparent in platforms like this, I believe is the way we're going to make a difference because as Miss Veronica says, the business world is mixed of men and female. And there are some hardcore females out there that I try to
yes.
empower with a little passion. They might swoop it out their way, but every opportunity I get to empower men or female. So just let's just not forget that even the ones that really can't utilize their soft skills, their one-on-one communication, know that it's really within them and they're really looking for us to help them support and bring that out of them.
Amazing. Wow. Now I have to follow after you, really? I want to say if you're watching, thank you for watching. And um, next time, drop us a comment so that we can, acknowledge you. But I want to invite you, if you're watching, please come over to africa.co.za and I will be continuing the conversation on that platform. So click listen live. And I'm going to play a song especially for the three of you ladies that spent this hour with me because I want you to know that you're amazing just the way that you are, and I appreciate you. Um, and if you're watching, know this. I always talk about community and the power of Ubuntu because I am who I am because of these women that I'm spending time with right now and other people that are in my circle. And this is my final thought. If you want to go far, go alone. Sorry, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And this is an African proverb that I live by because really we can go far if we link arms with each other. We can empower one another. If we are walking on, walking a marathon together, and hey, I fall down, guess what? Veronica is going to come up and help me up. Aliana's going to come up beside me and walk the road with me. And so is Daisy, because we need to do this together. That's the only way towards success. It's through empowerment, empowering each other, and actually also empowering yourself to look within and look without and see the people that are walking with you. So come, let's continue this journey together. Come and join me next week for another episode of Wonder Women Wednesday, where we get to highlight ordinary women making an extraordinary difference. Thank you, everyone, and join me on the platform Africa Up Online Radio, where we bring you only the very best in local and international music. Until next time, be blessed. And those that are on Africa Up, stay tuned. I'm going to play you all a song. Be blessed, everyone. Thank you, ladies. You were amazing.
Thank you
What
so
an
much,
amazing
Linda.
show. Thank you. Be blessed. Bye for now. I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here?